All right, oops. Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Here we go, getting started on this wool job. This has been a long time coming. I started to do this job like back in July, I think, before, weeks before the convention, even the CFI convention. So just now, these people were not ready then, and come out here last week and started work, and then I got sick all week. So here we are now, finally fixing to get started. Let's see what we got going on. So I'm using some of the Johnsonite rubber shims where I need to be. These are 3/8 shims there, the 1/4-inch shims over here. This is a wool pad that we're using. I think it's 40 ounce or 40 pound, whatever, wool pad. And we are installing a natural fiber carpet here. It's a wool carpet with a jute backing. So these people are pretty green friendly, or green rather. So I'm trying to keep everything as natural as possible. The place is actually cleaned up. When I started this stuff way back in July or whenever it was, I came out here and tack stripped it. So you can see my tack strip, which has been down for a few months now. They've done a lot of work since I was out here. But I am using tri-tack everywhere. Got shims here. I think that's a 1/4-inch. It's been a long time since I put it down. It's one of the wood ones. I didn't put one here. I felt like that is going to be okay. You know what? I forgot about that. I may not have even needed to put that down there. I can't remember. Anyway, we got this done last time when we first started the job. For whatever reason, I'm seeing that the seam has got a little bit of pull to it right there. I could push that back up a little bit maybe and close that gap just a little bit. Look right there. I don't know if this stuff shrinks a little bit or what. Honestly, I've not dealt with wool pad a whole lot. So okay, so we now have pretty much what we're gonna attempt to get done today. I don't know, I'm timed here. I got a limited time. Anyway, we're definitely gonna get this done. And what I did, chose to seam it right down through here, and I want to make that fall on this fireplace right here, and maybe right about here or something like that, so I'm not having a little strip right down the side of that. And this stuff is super pliable. It is an all-natural product, so it's really flimsy and stretchy and stuff like that. So you can see how much I left myself there, about, I don't know, 8 inches or so. Seam it over there, tie that off, stretch this way is why I left that much. Tie all that off and stretch this way, and then come up to me and work to the 3/4 hardwood right here. This room right here, I didn't even bring carpet for that. I thought I did. That's why I spent my time getting pad in here. If I knew I didn't have carpet, if I had thought about it anyway, I would not even spent my time padding this today. I just would have got working on the carpet. Like I said, I am timed. I've got a certain time I need to get out of here today, so I'm trying to just focus on getting stuff done. Okay, so there was a little defect on the carpet right here, and it fell right here in the closet. So you can see where I had to cut this off. And this is my fill piece I got here, but I had to cut this off. I'll show you the defect here in a second. And I'll make a long seam here rather than doing a head seam somewhere up here to get rid of that. So I'll just cut it off the side right there, put a long seam in. I measured this job with absolutely 0 head seams in the whole job, okay? Looky here. So I got just enough to work over there. I got about a 1/2 inch. It looks like more than that, but when you push it down, I got just enough to work. See that? About a 1/2 inch up on it. I'll probably just tuck that and secure it on the strip and we'll be good. And with that being said, by the time we stretch, we're gonna be perfect right there too. I got about a 1/2 inch there. This was like 12-foot net, and this carpet is 12-foot net. So in here, this room was like 12.3 wide. So what I did, I've already got this straightened out. My fill piece is going to come over here. I got a foot fill piece for this. It's going to go over here, and then I will put a seam right here in this doorway, both these closets, this little entryway right here will all be one piece. Right in through here will all be one piece, and I'll have one seam, one long seam in my doorway right there. Again, no head seams whatsoever. Not that big of an issue here, but upstairs, when I get to that point, I'm not going to show you today, but when I do get to that point, I will show you where all of the extra measuring and extra carpet came in for no head seams, because there's definitely a little bit extra up there to not have any head seams, okay? And also, I guess it could be here, because if that was not damaged in this room here, I could have took that and dropped it over here to this other closet. Let me show you this damage real quick on this. So right here is the damaged part right here. Let's see where that pole got it. This was the very inside of the roll of carpet. And I'm sure it was the forklift pole that done that, because the carpet cob was also all jacked up right there. Like I said, not that big of a deal. We didn't have to do no head seams. We didn't have to do no patching. You know, just patching a square in the center of it or anything like that. We'll just cut it and make another long seam in it. Not really that big of a deal. That's it. I guess we are fixing to get working on this. I'm going to use the Cool Glide on this. I got some premium tape here. I'm definitely going to use on this. This is a super good, super nice carpet, really high dollar carpet. I want to use all the best products on this. So let's make some seams and get to stretching in. Cock-a-doodle-doo. So this is a tufted wool carpet, so it will lend to row cutting really easy. And I am using Robert's 8502 natural latex seam sealer to do that. You see it's in a Warcom bottle, but I'm just using a bottle. It is a natural latex I'm using. But anyway, jute backing, tufted wool, just row cut like a traditional carpet, and you're going to be good to go. Don't forget, use a latex on the wool. Okay. Choo, choo, chicka, 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 choo, choo. What a great combination of tools. Chicka ching ching, chicka ching ching, and chicka ching. It's a little something that helps whenever you're putting down just into any transition pretty much. And you're gonna obviously put your latex in the gully, but if you'll take these little strings like this and cut them off before you tuck it, it's gonna be a lot easier to get those little stragglies before you tuck it rather than after you tuck it, especially if you latex your gullies, because a lot of times what happens if you'll give it a little pull or something, and when it comes up out of there, it's going to bring a little latex with it, get it on the fiber. So once you get your get your carpet trimmed down to where you want it, just any stray that you see, go ahead and take your shears and snip it before you even tuck it. It's going to be a lot neater, cleaner, and preventative messing, blah, 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 whatever you want to call it. Anyway, just make an overall better outcome, because you ain't gonna have to deal with it after it's tucked into the latex. Alrighty, I'm gonna do a quick run through real fast what we got done and how we did each room, okay? All right, so what I did here, there's a seam right here about 8 inches, about an inch to inch and a half past on this side of the vents, right there and right there. So I made that seam up, obviously, tied this corner off, and I stretched right there over to that. Boom, 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 got me 3 or 4 stretches, turned around, tied all of that wall off, stretched this direction to me. I went ahead and pre-cut my seam right here in this doorway. So that way, after I had it stretched and stuff like that, then I didn't have to worry about row cutting it. So I had it row cut. When I turned around and finished coming this direction here, let me do this. There we go, maybe to help you out there. So whenever I finish going that direction, then I stain nailed it right across right here. That way I kept that nice and straight as I was stretching it, and it was easier to make my seam with it being nice and straight. Then I finished up this right here. This closet piece right here, closet, little entryway to the bathroom, all this is one piece. Right all the way through here is all one piece. What I did, I measured from that back wall up to the inside of my jamb here, and this inside here. Same thing over here. I measured from that back wall to this corner here, and it was like a 7.4 and 8.1. So I marked it on the carpet, rolled it up this way, then I rolled my carpet up this way. I done that out here in the open. Once I had it rolled up from both ends, then I was able to place it right here with my seam pre-cut. Then I was able to just simply make my seam, stretch it this way and both ways with my needless, and then I could pull my stain nails out, and the stretch that I got from stretching the room plus the stretch from the needless was then applied to the little hallway piece once I got the stain nails out. I put me a 2x4 right here after that was done. Put my stretchers right here. I stretched this section in right here, that 2.5 foot, 3 foot cubby or whatever that is right there, stretched long ways up here through the doorway, through the hallway from this point right here, right up through there. After I got this tied off, then I folded it back really closely, obviously, and cut my side down of this piece right here, cut this down so I wasn't short on that side. Tied this off. Actually, I stretched it up with my needless, turn around, stretch this up with my needless. Now, mind you, this is not cut down yet, just enough to tuck it right here and just fold it around. This was left about 2 inches here underneath there. So once I got it worked up to here, actually, let me slow down. I stretched here, then I went that way a little bit, not much, just a little bit. And then I went that way to that right there, and then boom, 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 boom at an angle that way. Then all I had left was this one corner. I took, stretched, boom, boom, right there, turned around, stretched, boom, boom, right here, tied this off right here with my needless, boom, 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 and boom, 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 right there. Finished up right there. Everything is super snug, super tight. And I did the exact same thing to this other closet. I put me a 2x4 right across here, set my stretchers up, stretch right up to underneath of that cabinet. By the way, using your underlayment gun and an 18 gauge underlayment gun with 1.25 inch staples underneath of there and underneath of here, because it was at an angle, it sure makes it a lot easier than nailing underneath that, even though, you know, they got the nail bars and stuff like that. It's just easier. Anyway, stretched up to that. Use my needless, boom, 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 to about this point right here. Turned around with my needless, boom, 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 and even directly across there. I stopped, then I came, snugged it back that way, and then stretched this way, right to the side of that. And then I went on at an angle, boom, 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 up to this corner, and then I turned around, came back, boom, 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 running at an angle the whole time toward the end of the closet, okay? That left me this corner pretty much in the same situation like I did a while ago. After that was done, then I got me boom, boom, a stretch right there, boom, boom, a stretch right there, tied this off, finished going back up that way, working to the corner, tied this off, finished working right up there. Okay, that's the rundown of this room. Let's go check out this other room. Yonk do. This is a super, super nice carpet, by the way. I really like working with this stuff. It's a pleasure. This stuff pays so much more to install it, and it is so easy to work with. It's crazy. There it is. Anyway, in here, I tied off that corner right there, probably about, 3 foot or whatever. Stretched up here. You can see my closet is completely free. It's not yet anything done. I still got a seam to make in there and stuff, so nothing's done in there. Anyway, I tied off that whole back wall, stretched up this way, at an angle that way, and then I came boom, 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 at an angle, continuing on at an angle to this wall, tied my hardwood off and everything as that went by. Then I came back and finished up lastly this way, run at an angle here. As a matter of fact, I told you I was a little bit short here. I think I mentioned that. I was super close. So what I did, as a matter of fact, I stopped stretching about right here. I went to the center of my doorway. I stretched up enough right there to get it. Then I came back, got me another stretch here, jumped over to the other side and got me another stretch there. I wanted to get my center pull first. That way I wasn't trying to get this and then running over here where my stretchers would be sitting at an angle here and not be able to get close enough to get up here where they needed to be to get a good stretch. I didn't want it to be curved right here by the ends and then stretched way up in the center and then curved back down. So that was the purpose of that. Let's come on through here. We got another room we got done. This one is all complete. We got the closet and everything done in here. Again, I tied off this section right here by the closet and I stretched over this direction. Boom, boom, boom. Tied off this wall right here. Turned my stretchers around and came back over here. Angled from this side of the doorway is where I stretched from, right up at an angle that direction. Then once I started right here. I got one stretch here, then I jumped over and got one in the corner. Okay, that's how I done that. Then I kicked my tailpiece over here, was able to run at an angle this direction. For the remainder of the length of the room, I stopped right there. I did not get that little dog leg. I stopped right there. Turned around, came back here. Boom, boom, boom. Finished up running this way all the way up here. And after I got stretched all the way up here, then I took my nailless and finished stretching that little 1 foot wall right there. And that's gonna be, let's see, we got the living room done also. So in here, obviously I used a board because of the, baseboard in here, but I started right here. I tied off about 4. Actually, I went from that corner right there all the way to approximately that light switch right there. I left this overlapped on my tile. I did not cut it down corner to corner. I left it, I think I showed you, I left it up on here about that far. Same thing over here. I left the corner cut about 4 or 5 inches, if not more, up on the tile. That way it was like covering over it instead of cut to the corner already. After I got my cross stretches right here, then I proceeded to, right here, I worked from this corner of the fireplace, boom, 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 back to that. Come here in this cubby, boom, 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 right to that corner. Then that freed me up to come right here. Use my nailless to stretch all this back right here. Got just enough to snug it. Boom, 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 enough to make it stick. Then I was able to come over here like this right here and stretch, 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 stretch with my nailless. Always at an angle to the corner. Come right here to the center. Boom, boom, boom. Come this way to the center. Boom, boom, boom. Right there, just like that. All that was tied off. Then I was able to put me a 2x4 right against this wall. Stretch right up here. Then once I got too much of an angle, I run me a board across the fireplace. The wood of the fireplace was able to get me stretches. Let's see here. Boom, 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 all the way up. Then obviously come back, finished from here, always at an angle. Boom, 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 boom. Finish that all up nicely and completely. And that's what we got done. We now have the downstairs done. I used shims right here at this. I think I mentioned that. I used it here. I used it up there at the towel, and I used it at the towel in the other bathroom doorways. And I honestly, I wasn't planning on using it in the living room. I was only planning on using it, at the hardwood. I was not planning on using it at the hardwood because I like this a lot better right here. I wished I hadn't used it in there. I forgot about it until I was done, but look here. This is like, it's just, oh man, it's so close to being flush, it's crazy. And now that in there is raised up just a wee bit. So it's just a touch low or a touch high. My preference, I always would rather have it a touch low as a touch high. If it's a little higher, might just be me, but I feel like it's gonna wear out just a little faster. So if I have a choice, now this is perfectly flat here. from the tile to the carpet. That's what we strive for right there, but sometimes it just don't work. Anyway, if I have a choice, I will always go a touch lower instead of a touch higher. That's just me. Anyway, we'll go upstairs and see what we got going on up there. That's the rest of what we got. We got steps and the upstairs to do. These are, yeah, I don't know. I think I'll just stop right there. We'll take a look at all this stuff on tomorrow's vlog. We'll get everything else looked at and done because this is gonna be pretty long already. So, anyway, we got steps, a big room here, big room there, and that hallway right there. And that's all we lack on this 313 yards of wool jute-backed carpet. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Okay, I did want to point this out. You can definitely see the telegraphing of the taper deck, especially from this angle. I got right here specifically to point this out. There's light everywhere in there. There was no other place to put that except for about right here in the middle this way. This room was 23 by like 18. So over here on this side, running this way rather than dead center of the room, because we got also windows there. So once they get, now this whole wall right here is also covered with windows, but it's got to go somewhere. The seam is beautiful. You can definitely see the telegraphing. I did, however, stretch less in the width, and I stretched big time in the length right there. And when I stretched right here on this seam, it really stretched. I was kind of surprised because a lot of people say seam tape don't stretch. It does not stretch as much as carpet alone, but I guarantee you I pulled probably 2.5 inches right there on the tape. That's a stretch, 2.5 inches, not just pulling slack, pulling stretch. 2.5 inches at least right there. So anyway, now you can see it'll dissipate. Depends on where the light is. Depends on where the light is. Anywho. So seam hinging or seam peaking, whatever you want to call it. I think we all know what causes that. If you make your seam with the latex wet, it's going to adhere good, join the complete thickness of the backings together and stuff like that. However, in most cases, you cannot make your seam with the latex still wet because it just dries so fast. But anyway, it's just part of it. There's nothing you can do about it. It just happens. So when it does happen, don't stress it. If you feel like you're working with a nice, smooth, flat carpet such as we are here, make it known ahead of time. Check it out right here. I actually brought this to my book here just in case the client was a little, hey, what'd you do there? It's completely normal. It's perfect. Now, obviously, you do want to place it in positions where it does get the less light across it, no pivotal foot traffic or anything like that, especially because it is a wool carpet, very expensive. You want to take all those things into consideration. But when you do all of that and you still have a little telegraphing of the seam tape, don't stress it. It's part of it, okay? And just like always, thank you guys once again for tuning in to the Daily Grind. Until tomorrow, FBSB's out.